Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka, and we've got a massive little show for you tonight. Today I want to talk about some really big things. Firstly, we're going to talk about the QBZ, the brand new 5.56 rifle, the AR from Sanok, which is amazing, lots of love. Going to get to that in just a wee second. I'm going to talk about ARs in general, and a dirty little secret that I've kind of discovered about the difference between ARs on PC and ARs in mobile, which is pretty freaky. And then I'm going to give you two tips. One of them is about shooting through doors, and the other one is going to be dealing with snakes in the grass on Sanok. And I hope you like those. So stick around till the end, and you'll see the tips. And if you want to hear all the other stuff, well, let's start right now. Now, firstly, the QBZ is a fine gun. I really, really enjoyed it. The AR is outstanding. I've driven it pretty much exclusively the entire time in Sanok, and it does the business. It absolutely performs, and it is a weapon that I would pick up every single time. Is it the best AR running around? Is it better than the M416 is the question that's on a lot of people's lips, and just flat out, it's not. It isn't. It's brilliant, but I want to break down exactly why that is. To do that, I went to the testing range because I think there's something a little bit weird. There's a lot of stats we don't know about, and you might see on the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see me wailing away at the crash test dummy on the testing range. I usually don't do any of that because I find it ridiculous that people will jump on the testing range, hold the button down, watch how far the gun goes up in the air and say, don't get this one because the other one has less gun going up in the air than this one. That's why they invented thumbs, guys. If you can use your thumbs, you can control recoil and use an AKM or a Groza. You don't have to worry about it flying off all around the world. Just, that's neither here nor there, though. And I don't want to get too outrageous with this, but yeah, use the guns in the actual game and you'll get much better of a feel for how they should be working. By the way, watch this absolute bug. See that tree there? It's going to stop the bullets. Every one of them. They're just going to pull up in midair where that guy's head is. And I'm going to keep shooting it. I'm like, okay, I put that through the devs already. Like, who knows? So what happened on the testing range was I wanted to test the rate of fire because the QBZ seems to be shredding. And it does it fantastically well. So what I did was I shot a couple of clips from an M416, an AKM, a QBZ, a Mark 14, a Groza. And then I took the length of time it took them to empty out the clip and divided it by the number of shells they fired to give you the rate of fire. And I did the M416 first, and it was exactly the same as PC, 0.086 rounds per second. Seems straightforward. It was the only one that was the same. And it might go a long way towards explaining why the M416 is clearly the best and most versatile AR in the game right now, excluding the Mark 14, which is a DMR. Because it is lights out faster than the other guns. The AKM was around every 0.118 seconds. The QBZ, the SCAR-L, the Mark 14, the Groza, they all fell in the same kind of range around 0.109 or 0.110 seconds. But the M416 was 0.086 rounds per second. I didn't do the M16A4 because it's tap firing, and I just didn't feel like I had enough of a baseline to really figure out how that worked with the burst fire and everything. So I just left it the hell alone. What does all that mean? Well, there's a lot of stuff that's hidden in PUBG Mobile, stuff that we just don't have access to, stats that we don't have access to, and stats that we haven't either data mined or really tested solidly to get the numbers for. So we don't have things like drag, scope spread. We don't have, the hidden recoil numbers and everything that go into the gun. So we can't be 100% certain. But here's something that I do think is right with this gun. The QBZ fires rounds slower than the M416. If it's the same projectile and it's got pretty much the same bullet speed, then there's no reason to think that it wouldn't have less recoil. And that, from what I've driven of this gun, is absolutely correct in a baseline format. Before you put any bells and whistles on it, I think the QBZ actually has as tight, if not tighter, a spread than the M416. Obviously, the M416 can run the tactical stock, which clears it out above the rest of the competition. But if you want to run the QBZ and run it well, then my advice to you is a half grip, a compensator, and a red dot. And that's pretty much what I'm running throughout this video. People will rail against the half grip. They like the grip that produces the least amount of recoil. That's why you'll see some Muppets running around with a vertical foregrip on an AR firing full auto. You might have heard me wailing on before about use your thumbs to control recoil. Well, that's what I do. It's what most players that have been playing for a while do. They just do it naturally. You start guiding the weapon down as you fire it, and you can see me adjusting the spray as I'm actually firing the weapon. The thing you can't adjust is horizontal recoil, and that is what the half grip helps with. It actually increases your vertical recoil ever so slightly, but you're running a 5.56 rifle. It's versatile. It's a lightweight shell. It is not going to give you the recoil that you get from an AKM or a Groza or a Mark 14. You just don't have to deal with it. So run the half grip and control that spray. Run the compensator because we're all about gun handling and balance. Suppressor like this is fantastic when you're in solo mode because stealth, let's be honest, is very, very important when you're in solo mode. When you're in squad, if you're running a suppressor and the rest of the squad isn't, and you all fire from the same area, head tip, you don't stay invisible just because you've got a suppressor on. They still look in your direction, and it's a real bugger of a thing. It's one of the reasons why I think suppressors on sniper rifles are really important when you're in squad, but I don't really think suppressors on AR are nearly as important. So you can see I'm running it with the half grip there. I'm running it with a compensator on the most for the most part. For this particular round, the first thing I picked up was an AR suppressor, and I was like, happy days, I'll run it with an AR suppressor. And the red dot is just glorious for it. That's not to say you can't run it with a 3 or a 4 times scope. You certainly can. Running a 5.56 AR gives you that opportunity to run a 2, a 3, or a 4. A 3 is a beautiful mix of the whole 9 yards. You can actually run a 3 times, still go to ADS, aim down scope, in really short environments. I apologize for this next kill. It's a bot. Please, I beg your eternal forgiveness. I don't have time to edit this out. I feel so very dirty. You still have time to ADS down scope, and with the 5.56, you can quite often spray, even at ranges of 50 meters or so, in 4 times mode. There's no problems with it whatsoever. But you can see how much strafing I do with this gun and how much spray firing I do. The other grip that my good mate Swiss Cheeser likes to run a lot is the angled foregrip. Personally, I'm not an angled foregrip guy. I used to be, but I find the half grip is better for spraying. And if I'm thinking of running it as a semi-sniper ADS kind of weapon, I'll probably go with a thumb grip before an angled. I like the ADS bonus that the thumb grip gives. I don't like the light grip at all, but you can see how much spraying I'm doing with this thing. It's just such a massive winner in the spray stakes. I want to address something else. Back to the whole thing we had about the secrets of PUBG Mobile and the guns themselves. It's pretty crazy that the Mark 14 in its current state exists. It's got the same rate of fire as an AKM, but it has a massive damage advantage. Massive. But this thing, for whatever reason, there's got to be some kind of hidden stat that we just simply don't have access to. Because look how effective this thing is in full spray, running a red dot, a compensator, and a half grip. Because that's exactly what I'm running on that thing right there. That is just a wonderful, wonderful combo. And I'd love to get some data mining done. I'm not the bloke to do it. I've got too much on my hands producing content. I can test things out at the range. I can get in custom rooms and do a few little cheeky bits and pieces like that. But man, oh man, there's some real meat on that bone for PUBG Mobile. If someone can get a hold of the internal data and figure out exactly what's going on, we can get to grips with a few of the mysteries that seem to pop up, like why the AKM just belts people. And I mean, I have my theories on the AKM. I think it really takes advantage of low hit point targets or targets that have very poor... did you see Max there, Snake Eyes? He just clutched out severely, man. He knocked the guy as he was pulling a gren, which blew up both him and the guy he knocked. And then he's going to get me up. And I am going to then do a little bit of strafe work and pre-firing with this gun. And again, it's going to highlight how tight the groupings are on this thing. Running the compensator, it's compensator half grip. And look at the groupings on this thing. You can use your thumb to work down on the actual... I just pre-aim, lean out, start firing before we get there. Little burst, work the timbers, and then a little burst again. Look at that. That's amazing. That is such beautiful, beautiful groupings on those shells. And then on the win, just brilliant stuff. Great, great gun. Love it to bits. And the sound is brilliant because the sound is immersive. It's like the Groza. If you're firing this gun, you feel like you are doing something serious. It has that hydraulic buzz about it. Just boom, boom, boom. Now, this is tips and tricks time. I want to show you 2 tricks that I use on Sanhok and all over the place. One of them, but one is particular for Sanhok, really, because Sanhok may as well be called Sanrock, because seriously, this place is all grass and rocks. Once you get outside, resort, boot camp, Charlie, Thai fan, ho, whatever you call them, it is all big, beautiful, lush green areas with rocks around it, right? And the rocks are really, really important because they allow you to move from bits of cover to bits of cover. But what they also allow you to do is kill those snakes in the grass. I'm going to break that down in just a second. Now, this game here, again, you're going to see the pre-fire, and I'm running, this is with a thumb grip. This is a compensator, a red dot, and a thumb grip. I mean, wow, it really does do the business. I used sound there to pick up where that guy, and we're going to nail this guy down there as well. Oh, God, I love this gun. Like, it feels so cool. I think the M416 is a better weapon. I think it is undeniably a better weapon. But there is something to this, and I really want to make sure that all the damage numbers are even across the board for the 5.56 rounds and the 7.62 rounds. They've never said they are, as far as I'm aware, so who knows? Look at the footsteps on the top of the minimap. You're going to see someone is poking just to our northwest north. Now, I've done the Secrets of Pubg video. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It goes through render range, all this kind of stuff. It's in a playlist there. I know that footprints only pop when they are 20 meters and in. So that means he's got to be near the bloody doorway there. He's got to be somewhere near that doorway. So if I can actually angle up, use the minimap and that's why I've enlarged the minimap here, use the minimap to actually get an idea on exactly where he is. I can shoot through the door. I don't hit him through the door. I actually clear the door first and then adjust my aim as soon as the door breaks down. But I'm already firing. So by the time he turns around, even though he's pre-aimed in, I've already started hitting him, and I only lose half my hit points to take out a guy that was camping the actual door, aimed down sights, waiting for me. I mean, that's just using sound and making the most of it. I want to thank everyone who supported the channel. The channel's really growing. We've picked up nearly 3,000 subs in the past 7 days, which is great news for me. It feels sometimes like you've got to work forever to become, to get that overnight boost, but it feels like it's finally happening. I really appreciate it all. There's someone in the grass here ahead of me. So what I'm going to do is, instead of running out there into the grass where they're waiting for me, they can't see because it's first person mode, I'm just going to climb on top of this rock and neck them. You should be doing this more in Sanhok, by the way. This is an absolute game changer. You think there's someone in the grass? Stand on a rock. Shoot them. Don't do this in third person mode. It will get you killed, okay? Yeah, thanks everyone for taking part in the channel live streams. Thanks for everyone for subscribing and liking the videos. If you want to become a member of the Patreon community, we do regular Patreon events. Every week we do a Patreon live stream where I squat up with the guys live and we all yell, scream, and carry on like pork chops. I'm doing a lot of videos that are private videos for patrons only. Basically, last night I put up a big video which is just raw audio from me and my squad mates where you hear everything. So you're hearing the occasional F-bomb and the swearing and the stink and the angst and the tension and the little snappy arguments and everything, as well as the gameplay, which I find very, very enjoyable. And I'm dropping those in Patreon, and that's only for patrons. So that's one of the kicks. If you want to go in there and join in that, you can jump on that train. I can't put that stuff on channel. I don't want a whole lot of M content and above that could possibly get me a poor channel rating. So that's Patreon only. If you want to join up Patreon, it's patreon.com/thebushka. Until next time, guys, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.